Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Sculpted Journey of Ireland with myself, Dave Perry. Oh, and my Royal Enfield, of course. It seems just about every main road network in Ireland has some of these fascinating sculptures grown out of the embankment. But they're not just confined to motorways. This week I've come to a village called Horseleap, where, not surprisingly, they have a sculpture of a leaping horse. However, there's more. Oh, such a lot more to this one than perhaps most people even know whilst casually driving by. Here to explain all is Pat Carton, one of Horseleap's more colourful characters.
Dave, how are you doing?
Good to see you, man. So you've invited me along for some horseplay, have you?
Yeah, we're going to look at this old statue now and see what we can make of it now. Yeah.
Now, Pat, I can't help but notice the remarkable similarity between the horse on your Ferrari jacket and the horse which stands behind us. Tell me more.
Thereby hangs a tale.
I thought so, which is why I'm here.
Back in 1999, as you might remember it, Celtic Tiger was roaring. The people of Horseleap, they had an idea to commission an equine statue, a statue of a horse, to celebrate this great event, civic pride. Now, you might remember that great Northern Ireland driver, Eddie Irvine.
Indeed I do.
He used to drive for Ferrari.
Yeah.
He was such a brilliant driver that the Ferrari company, they says they were going to give him a statue of a horse. They commissioned this statue for him. They only made 6 of them. Fine Italian bronze made in Milan. They shipped the horse to Northern Ireland with the intention of presenting it to Eddie Irvine. But didn't Eddie Irvine, he defected, you could say, he bolted from the Ferrari stable and he fell for the feline charms of Jaguar. So the Ferrari company, they're hardly going to give him a Ferrari horse, and he driving for the arch rival. And you see what happened then was the people from Horseleap, they were looking around, they were putting feelers out for an equine statue. They didn't really have the spondulics, I suppose, to get an original statue made, because it's, you know, a lot of money. So basically, there was a horse in Northern Ireland, kind of going spare, and there were the people of Horseleap who were looking for a horse. There was a local man, he was up at a trade fair in Northern Ireland, and he heard about this horse.
What happened then?
Now, as you can imagine, you see, they were looking around for an equestrian statue, and he suggested this to the local people. And a kind of, I suppose you could say, a spontaneous committee was formed. The movers and shakers of Horseleap, that kind of discussed it, and it was assuming it was a very reasonable rate. Now, I don't know exactly how much they paid for it, but it wasn't a huge amount. It was quite a reasonable. They did a bit of horse trading, and they came up with this deal. So basically, the posse went across the border up to Northern Ireland, and they loaded up the horse, and then she was brought back. It's a stallion. He was brought back to Horseleap, and then of course they had to decide where to place him, and so eventually they placed him here. And a local man, he put this fine surrounding him, and he's bolted there to the floor, we'll say, and he's planted firmly in Horseleap, and he's been there for the last 20 years, and he hasn't stirred.
I was going to say sculptures and indeed art, they're a very contentious issue. They divide opinion, and that's what I love in particular about sculptures. So when the horse was erected in the village of Horseleap, did it take a few years for the locals to adjust?
Yeah. But it's kind of, I suppose he's settled in now, you know, he's kind of part of the landscape. He's kind of, he's in the grand. I think it was kind of karma or destiny. And do you see that old jalopy across the road? I'm hoping, as I'm honouring my commitment to the company, that one day they may, well, ship me a nice red Ferrari. I'm still waiting.
Well, whilst you're waiting for your Ferrari, Pat, I'll take my own horsepower and celebrate the glory for Horseleap, who have clearly won the ultimate Formula One trophy. As much as I'm bowled over by these stories in this series, I am somewhat saddened that these motorway sculptures of Ireland go unrecognised every day, and they scream untold stories full of fun, mystery and history. I aim to address this, and there's lots more to be unravelled about these beautiful sculptures which grace our beautiful country of Ireland. So, whilst that's all from me for now, folks, and I thank you for tuning in again, it's over to Pat for a poetic verse on what should have been Eddie Irvine's Ferrari horse.
This horse doesn't talk, this horse doesn't walk, and his hide won't ever be tanned. He is now a horseleaper, so give him a beep. He beats Banher, sure he beats the band. And I'm cruising, I find it amusing, but where is my fire and my force? When all of my dreams and all of my schemes can be seen in the green on a second-hand horse. You!